Okay everyone, welcome aboard Alpine 94 Extra Tango. We've flown from Venice, Marco Polo, Lima India, Papa Zulu, LIPZ in Italy. Coming over the lovely mountains of the Rivieras of Italy and France, just over Genoa, and we're now on the initial approach to runway 22 right at Nice. It's a curved approach, so RNAV approach with a visual segment at the end. So if we look down to the right, there's the runway ahead, so our approach is basically going to take us out over the sea and then back in. We're going to come in along these points here and then basically curve along the bay there where the beach is. So it's 22 right, which is the right hand runway. It's the shorter of the two, in the vicinity of the Nice. Nice is just there as well. In terms of the approach, nothing too crazy. It's just a big left turn on final. The only crazy thing we've got at the moment is the weather, which is currently 250 degrees, 16 knots, Cav OK 19 and 101. So that's just changed. It used to be the same wind speed, 270 at 16, but with wind shear warning for all runways. So there's a possibility it's going to be quite bumpy on final. Let me just update the weather information. So we've got a temperature of 19, QNH is the same, and wind is now 250/16. Okay, the minimums for the RNAV approach then are going to be in Navigraph. So if I go over to RMPD, so there we go, we're coming in towards near us now, and then we're going to turn around basically somewhere off there. Minimum center altitude is 1260 and we need 5 kilometers of visibility. I'm quite happy with the minimums as I can already see the runway, so that tells me that we're in the right ballpark. The initial approach isn't in here, but we've got the LOSCOM procedure. Then the airport charts below, so we're going to hit runway 22, probably going to vacate on Charlie 1 towards the end. I'm just going to write off that first half of the runway there, so Charlie 1 or Bravo 1. We're vacating. If we landed at 22 left, that would be better potentially because we could use a high speed exit way. But 22 left is used for takeoff, so we're going to use 22 right. Even though it might not be preferential runways. So it's just going to be a long procedure here, basically to get us into the final approach. That actually I'm saying it's taking too long. Maybe I'll go direct to near us. We'll go direct to Soltax. I think it'll just make my life more fun. We'll get quite a steep descent in now. I'll just cut that whole segment off when we're just flying around for no reason. So quite a steep descent. Water brake's going to be medium for the approach. I'm going to use the speed brakes now for descending. Coming through 10,000 feet, lights on. QNH then is 1001, so I'll get ready to put that in. Put it on the standby instruments there. The flight time so far has been 55 minutes in the air, so that's since we've rolled off from the taxi. So we're going to set the profile there, which is perfectly fine. Okay, so there's the runway. Got them in sight, we've got the leading lights there. Okay, speed brake can go away then. Goodbye, speed brake. New RNAV now. We'll basically get ready to do that final approach. East traffic, Alpine 94 X-ray Tango inbound Sotox for runway 22 right on RNAV approach via Nanax. Okay, right turn in. Just cut that huge dog leg off basically. Still dog leg, but it's just a lot short. So you see some white crests on the waves below. That's another sign that there's some relatively heavy wind down at the airport, most likely still. So that'll be our 16 knots coming into play there. So we need to set the local QNH 1001 now, just getting set up. Speed is asking for about 250 knots. I'm going to keep that until, well, Nanax has a speed restriction of 200, so I'm just going to activate approach phase because that's roughly what the approach speeds are anyway. So we're now inbound, 4,200 feet. The profile is slightly above, so we're going to level off slightly. Now it's more or less a straight-in approach until we make the left turn onto final. We decide at that point where we're going to make the left turn if we're continuing the approach or not. Wind at the moment 23 knots from the left, as I can see on my little screen. Okay, got 10 miles to final turn. Runway's in sight over there. We're going to just wait until we're actually at inbound now. Spoilers are armed, door brakes medium. Do we need terrain? Oh, we got some terrain there. Just for a slight improvement in situational awareness. Actually, we don't need that. Okay, there we go. We're now descending on the profile. Final lap has engaged, and we're at 200 knots. So I'm going to get ready to put gear down at the final FN22D. Okay, because final lap's engaged, we're going to go through the altitude restrictions. We've engaged in approach mode. As FN22D gear down. There you go, thunk, and down it comes. Flaps 1. So I'm going to allow the autopilot to fly me down to the final approach fix, and I'll take over for the turn, more or less. Okay, there's one lard on final there by the looks of it. So I'm just going to switch my TCAS to low. East traffic, Alpine 94 X-ray Tango is inbound to the final fix for the runway 22 right approach. Okay, I'm going to reduce further, flaps 2, speed was fine. Okay, he's going to make that landing. We're quite far behind. We've got 6 or 7 miles. As long as he's quick getting off the runway, we'll have absolutely no problem there. Okay, speed's below the flaps, so we can set flaps 3. And we'll be fully configured by the waypoint Mike November 22 Delta. Okay, he's now on the ground. Speed's 160, speed check flaps full. Got the lovely city of Nice on the right hand side there. Monaco nearby. Okay, I'm happy with my visuals at this point. We're going to let the plane stabilise on the autopilot, just reducing that vertical speed down to 800 feet per minute. Seems like we've lost all of the wind speeds down to 4 or 5 knots now. So 600 or 700 feet per minute. He seems stable. By that I mean. So there we go, I'm turning off the autopilot. I'm going to keep the runway in sight, just scooching my head over to the right there. So I'm kind of looking around the corner. I kind of would need a Tobii eye tracker. That would be a good thing to have one day. I'm going to keep about 700 or 800 feet per minute in this descent now. Switching over to heading, continuing the approach. don't want to turn too early, otherwise it'll be a very late rollout. So I'm just going to keep about 700 feet per minute. Least traffic, Alpine 94 Extra Tango overhead the bay, turning final runway 22 right. Slowly start turning in. Try not to overfly the city, essentially. Flight directors go off and get FPA mode, please. Thank you. To myself, I said that. So just looking at that FPA bug getting around 3.5, 4 degrees. Okay, there's the Pappies, just identified them, so they're all red, so I'm just going to reduce the vertical speed in the turn. Slightly reduce the bank angle as well, that'll also bring the vertical speed up. We don't need to have such a turn rate. So yeah, just going to go at 500 now. Wind is now 17 from ahead as predicted. It was about 16, 17 knots. Okay, runway's inside.
500.
Sort this left turn out. Okay, slight overshoot. But we will recover. It's always better to overshoot and recover than it is to use the rudder to flick it around, as you may have noticed. One of the big problems with that technique is you end up stalling the inside wing in the turn, and you actually get a spin on final turn, which is unrecoverable. So rather just keep the bank angles gentle and just recover everything once everything's back in line. Happy with that picture actually. I'm just going to keep descending for the glide path, just for the image rather than the
100.
Papping. Yeah, that's fine. 50 over threshold.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Touchdown. What's going on with the texture here today? Here I've got 2 series Fenix installed. Okay. Runway's vacated, stroke lights off, landing lights off, taxi lights off because it's the middle of the day. AP bleed. Yeah, we're all good now. So let's request a standby navigraph. Let's go for 40. Can't read that. AR requested. Okay, well, safe dock is definitely not in sight.
You need to stop the engines to request ground services.
So I'd say this needs a caution.
The boarding requested. Passengers, the boarding started.
Just better ignore all of the issues caused by the scenery being quite complicated there. Passengers are going the right way, that's good. But yeah, in reality, this all wouldn't be there. That would be the things that's actually doing stuff. So I think we should delete these. But you can't because they're like embedded in the encrypted files as far as I'm aware. Let's try and find where there was my safe number. That needs fixing because that's... What use is that to anybody? Right, let's fix that quickly. So how to fix it? We're going to go reset position. Can I open GSX again? That hasn't started, of course not. Now it's open. Loading. Okay, we're going to customize airport position. We're at 48A, and I'm going to customize the parking system.
Entering editor. Please wait. Exiting from editing mode. Please wait.
Yeah, that's now correct. Okay, close that. Looks more realistic.